Hi, my name is Maria.
I'm Jillian.
And welcome to another episode of We're Just Doing Our Best.
Yay, today is the first day of fall. I am so excited. This is my season. What about you?
I really like fall, but it's not my favorite season, but I do love the pumpkin flavored everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little too overwhelming.
No, see, fall for me is the kickoff of what can only be described as the best 4 months of the year.
Oh,
because
4 months.
Well, because think about it. Like, we have not only Halloween,
yes.
we have Thanksgiving, and like for me, honestly, fall to Christmas in San Diego, which is where we're filming it, where our office is really all the same. So it's kind of makes me think of Christmas, my favorite national holiday, which is my birthday. I'm so obsessed with myself. I'm obsessed with the entire season. I love everything orange. The day that Trader Joe's becomes like a burnt copper is the day that I feel my personality coming back.
Amazing. And you know, that's great that you work for this company.
No, it is.
Our theme is orange.
No, we're completely covered in this color. Head to toe. It's everywhere, actually. But so we're also, speaking of college and college classes, fall is when we kind of get into the swing of it for all of our students, high school, college, you know, the people we work with.
Yeah.
But for you, how do you feel like fall is for you academically? I think this is kind of when things get, for lack of a better word, really real.
Yeah, fall is like the kickoff of school, and it's like, it's bittersweet because it's like, you know, summer's ending, but you have something new to look forward to. But me, I love summer, and I love, you know, vacationing and the beach and, you know, just chilling. And school sometimes stresses me out, but it's just like a good like break from like that fun, because sometimes I get really bored in summer and I need to go back to school, but then the minute school starts I'm like, oops, why'd I say that?
No, I mean, I agree, obviously, but I feel like August is, you know, obviously dog days for a reason. So that all comes to clear. Me and Scott were talking in our last episode about the first week of high school and college and kind of like adjusting into those lifestyles. And so I think the one thing that we actually didn't really cover well was kind of like class changes between like your schedule once you're adjusted into like moving in, if you're in college, or you have your schedule and you're already know what your life is supposed to look like. But in fall is when you actually really activate and kind of are supposed to use those planners and kind of fall into the swing of going to class every day. But when you went to college, did you feel like you kind of like acclimated well into showing up to class, which can be kind of an issue for some students?
The showing up to class was totally fine because I like pride myself on being on time. Like, I'm a very on time person. But I think like the transition of like going from, at least for me, it's different for everyone, for going from a semester system to a quarter system was very difficult.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like, wait, I just started and now I'm 3 weeks in and I have midterms. And then, oh wait, I'm now 6 weeks in and I have my second set of midterms. And then, oops, week 10 is here and I have finals. And then we get like 2 minutes of a break and then we do it again. I think that was the most stressful thing for me. Also, the transition of going from a class of maybe 30 to like 150 was crazy.
Yeah. No, I mean, genuinely, I feel like, well, so I can't fully relate because I went to a really small private school and I was on semester system. So I didn't really have that much of a change. But what made me feel really stressful is the biggest part of college in fall is, one, you get to pick and choose your classes the entire time. And you can also change a lot. Yeah. Which in the sense of like you can add and drop classes all the time, as well as you do have to like pride. You're in college, no one is looking out for you besides yourself. So I think that for me was always the hardest part, because like no one wants to see, like in high school and stuff, they're really wanting to help you succeed. They want you to graduate, they want you to go to college, and most of these teachers obviously are like priding themselves on getting their high school kids into college. But college is when you kind of take the reins as far as your own educational learning and where you want to go and what you want to do with it. Either you know, kids are getting their college paid for, or scholarships or funding like that, but either way it's up to you to make it work or not to work. So I think that's kind of something that a lot of people should keep in mind is time management and the things that come with it. I mean, you just said you pride yourself on being on time, so do I, but I think like a big thing in college that I wasn't amazing at was monitoring like my academics, as far as teachers don't update grades as frequently as they do in high school. You have no idea where you are academically standing most of the time for a lot of your semester. So being able to track that you turned in everything on time, making sure you're showing up for the test, and obviously showing up to class, because that's the only way that you really know what's going on. I think that's something that no one ever actually talked about to me either, is like you are kind of in charge of your own destiny.
Now that I think about it, like I remember in high school, every day you'd have the same class every single day. So every day the teacher would be like, okay, your assignment is due on Friday. And it's, you know, every day they tell you that. Then in college, it's like you start and you only are there for like two days out of the week most of the time.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wait, I have an assignment due and I have 12 hours to submit it or whatever the case is. It's like, oops, no one told me. But that's how it is. No one's supposed to tell you in college. And I think that transition is very difficult at the start. But you got 4 years to kind of to learn.
No, it's kind of a little bit. I mean, it's crazy, but it works out. What would you say was like your biggest adaptation you had to make from high school learning to college? If you had to pick.
Probably that, honestly. Probably like the lack of reminders.
Oh, yeah.
I think... Yeah, I do pride myself on being on time and, like, as organized as possible, but I'm, like, a human being at the end of the day, and I forget things.
Yeah.
And I kind of overloaded my first year of college. I took, like, I want to say, like, 5 classes, and that's, like, you're not normal.
Oh, so okay, overachiever.
No, my mistake. Should not have done that. I took like 5 courses, and it was something that I thought I could handle it because, you know, in college or in high school, you have like 7 classes a day.
Yeah,
it's totally normal.
Yeah.
But in college, it's not the case.
No.
So I quickly was like, I got to drop some. And I dropped like 1. And I think that was also hard because it's like, oh, I don't like dropping classes like that. I feel like a failure. But then you remember, wait, that's totally normal in college. Oh, yeah. That's okay to do that. And no one's going to say anything, or no one's going to be like, oh, you're falling behind or whatever. That's just, you're on track of your own journey in college, and you can do whatever you want. And as long as you get good grades, and as long as you know, turn in your assignments and accomplish your goals, then you're good. No one's really tracking you as much as they're tracking you in high school.
I also want to say, this is maybe not like the best advice, but C's do get degrees.
True.
And that is something to not be forsaken about. Unless you want to go to grad school, unless you think you want to go to higher education, obviously. But I think a lot of kids are really, really hard on themselves, present company included, when you don't maybe feel like you are thriving in college. Nonetheless, for example, I have dyscalculia and dysgraphia, so I read numbers, to say it frankly, very wrong. I literally cannot, I'm not trusted with a check, I'm not trusted with tips, I'm not trusted with Venmo. Like, everything that I do is backwards. I view a lot of these things backwards. So taking a collegiate math class, which everyone is required to take one, I was taking that, and a lot of times in classes, in college as well. This is probably different for every college, but what they offer for learning disabilities is wide ranging. For my college in particular, the help was not extensive, so it wasn't really honoring like what I needed in that time, which is totally fine. I think it's kind of a niche thing to have anyway. But I was always so hard on myself because, one, I'll be so honest, I did fail a math class, partly because it was an 8 a.m. and I was a freshman, and I was like, I can do it. I couldn't do it. I was like to myself, I couldn't get there. I didn't go on Fridays because I was busy, and I was doing what, I'm not sure. But I wasn't amazing at showing up. I always went on vacations, but I literally had no idea that missing Fridays was going to take me out as much as it did. Because I was like, oh, I'm there Monday, Wednesday. Like, the Fridays to the wayside. It's all good. And because of this learning disability, I literally had no idea what was going on. I failed the 2 tests that we had, because in high school, I was so used to like having 6 tests. Like, you learn something, you have a test. But in college, it's incredibly different, where you learn 4 to 5 different topics or chapters or whatever's going on, and then you're taking an accumulative test. And normally there's 1 to 2 per semester, and then a midterm as well, and a final. And then homework points are a lot smaller. So, you know, if you fail 2 tests, you're pretty much gonna fail. So I did. And I remember crying so hard and thinking like, I'm such a disappointment. And again, striving to fail a class is not something you should do. But again, like, failing one is not that big of a deal in the long scheme of things. Ended up obviously graduating on time, retook that class, but I ended up obviously getting a C in math because that's just what I was dealt with. And that was my only C in college, but I was really hard on myself for so long. But at the end of the day, like, it didn't really matter. So I just would say, like, a lot of, like, I used to get mostly A's and B's in high school, was really proud of that. And then in college, I kind of took a little bit of a detour, but only it was only 1 class. I'm really like still being so dramatic about it, but still I was like, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think like we all are hard on ourselves, and I think, you know, a lot of students these days are the same. You know, the kids that I've talked to, at least, their GPAs are insane. It's like, wow, you tried so much harder than I did when I was in high school, and I'm so happy that you are, because like if one piece of advice that I could give myself if I were to go back to high school or like meet my high school self is like, yeah, your GPA is a number, but like don't slack. Like, I think, it's
so fair.
Yeah.
Well, because I feel like oftentimes, and again, this is so different for every single person, because in college, if you do want to go to grad school, your grades really do matter. For me specifically, I like knew I was not going to choose graduate school. So I was like, okay, as long as I have a fair enough GPA that puts me in the running for certain activities and stuff, then I'm okay. But in high school, it really is becoming more and more dependent. And they kind of took the pressure off a little bit with ACT and SAT and those scores mattering.
Yeah.
But now they've now reversed that yet again. So things are just different.
Also, it's totally okay to make mistakes in college. Like, you know, whether it's with your classes, your grades, you know, people you meet along the way, it's totally fine. I think that's something that at least I came out of college learning.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that I can say that I have learned proud and well is that it's okay to make mistakes, and that you're going to graduate and you're going to continue life and nothing's going to happen. You're going to forget about it. Like, it's something that you really, truly, you forget about it. Yeah.
I would say I'm not qualified, but then again, we are just doing our best.
We're just doing our best.
I don't know if we maybe have a hypothetical scenario that we can.
I think this one's really fun. Okay. So I hope you're excited.
I'm excited.
Obviously.
So imagine, right? For an outrageous, like, you never have to work again amount of money. You know, you want that.
We actually talk about this every single day in the office.
Day.
You turn into an egg for a year, right? But 3 different people will rotate taking care of you for 4 months. You have to pick 1, someone you don't know. 2, someone you know that's not a family member. And 3, a relative. Who are you picking and why? And feel free to take time to think about it.
No. Okay. Well, I guess I'll have 2 answers for the first person I don't know. Obviously, first of all, Christina Yang of Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
She would save my life. She is hilarious. Her commentary would be key, and she would know if we were in dire situations when to, you know, lead me into the light or take me back. I'm fine with it. Also, I don't know her super well or personally, but one of my dear friend's mom, she is a nurse, and I don't know her like super, I wouldn't say like know her, but she is one of my best friend's moms, and she's a lovely mother and a lovely caretaker to her children. Yeah. So I think she would do an amazing job. For my relative, I'm choosing, or someone in my family, I'm choosing my mom. So I also think she would get along really well with my friend's mom, and it would be a good squad. They'd have a lot to chat about. I think my mom would be an amazing caretaker. But nonetheless, I think she'd be really stressed about me in this situation. So I think that the mom would also calm her down.
Okay.
And then someone that I just know, I'm going to say it's like probably like my best friend. I think she would keep it really light. Okay. And I have 2 best friends, so a guy and a girl. And so if I could, I'm making their room a lot bigger, but I'm going to add them both in because they would both, my guy best friend would really bring down like the anxiety. He would really make a joke of it all, and he really would just be chatting so much that no one would be like have time to be stressed. And my best friend would be really good as just like a comforter, and just like I think she'd bring me lots of blankets to keep me warm and stuff.
You've really thought about this.
And I had 5 seconds. It's called having good people in your life.
Well, okay. For someone that I don't know, that's hard. I'm honestly going to riff off of you and say like Meredith Grey or something.
Yeah, I think it would.
I don't really know.
It's good.
But I'm also going to say my mom for the person I know, because my mom is like, she does not break things. She's very well kept.
Worried about getting broken?
Huh? An egg? Yeah. Are you not serious?
See, like I was thinking, I don't know. Okay, go ahead.
No. My mother, she's great. For the person that I don't, like, not a family member, but I do know, I'm Catholic, love my church, one of my priests. I would pick one of my priests.
Good choice.
That's a great choice in my opinion. It's my favorite choice. Yeah, I'm going to pick one of them. I don't have a specific one. They're all great. They would all save me. And
maybe the one that you went to the Padres game with?
I went with all of them.
Oh, so
yeah.
Good group.
I went with all of them.
Yeah, go Pods, by the way. Love it.
Go Pods. Go Padres.
No, I know. Okay, well, speaking of the family and the people that we hold near and dear to us, we have another super awesome Reddit story. because I've been on this podcast, I've gotten into Reddit. Things have gone downhill mentally. Okay. Am I the a-hole for firing my brother after he proposed at my wedding? One thing about me is that I am so unwell about weddings. Everyone in this office knows it. It's my dream to be married one day. It's my dream to have a massive wedding. Literally don't care. I'm so obsessed. And if my brother proposed at my wedding, I'm not gonna lie, we'd have a tiff. Things would get super real, super fast. Okay, so for a bit of background, that is, I own a plumbing company, and I hired my brother 3 years ago. He was jobless after the pandemic, and I offered him to come work for me. He was 22 at the time, and is now looking to become a master plumber and start his own business. Okay. At my wedding, in which he was the best man, he decided that during his speech, he would give us all a big surprise and propose to his longtime girlfriend. Ooh. Me and my wife were appalled. We both feel like he stole the shine from our day. Obviously, he did. As one does. Everyone else in our families were so excited and kept taking pictures with her, looking at the ring, etc. Oh my gosh. I have so much beef with so many people. I decided to fire him the very next day.
Okay.
It's getting petty. He still doesn't understand why. He claims that I'm being selfish and irrational, and our parents agree. They're saying that business should be separate from our personal lives, and I just can't overlook what he did and how he ruined our day. Am I overthinking this, question mark? I should have mentioned, I should have mentioned this, but he will still be getting severance. He is still my brother, and I wouldn't let him lose his home over this. But as a small business, I can't imagine seeing him every day at work. Not now, at the least. Edit 2, I reached out to him and we plan on speaking later today. Edit 3, I love all the people who say you've been looking for a reason to fire him or you're just jealous. He was my best man. I never felt upset about him opening his business. In fact, it was in my complete blessing. This job was only supposed to get him on his feet again. I'm so happy he liked the field and wants to go further in it. There was no malice before this incident. Initial thoughts.
Oh, everyone's getting cut. Are you kidding me?
Cassidy should be on the podcast because she's always got a lot to say.
Sorry.
She's good. She always has hot takes.
Okay.
Maria's going to be nice about this.
No, I'm not. I would absolutely destroy anyone who would propose at my wedding. First of all, do you know how expensive a wedding is? Plan your own. You can get your own. Shine when you want to shine. I do get his parents' perspective. That's business shouldn't be, family shouldn't mix. So firing him was maybe a bit excessive. I understand maybe you should take a leave of absence for a smidge and come back when I'm not pissed at you anymore. But this is just me being PG because this is a podcast. In all reality, I would.
Okay, but if business
things would go down.
Yeah, things would go down.
Mix, then why is he helping his brother by getting him the job because he's out of the job?
I understand that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But personal things already mixed with business. So And you know what?
You're right. Honestly, you're totally good, boo. You're totally good. Fire your brother. Keep him fired.
See, this is I totally agree. Obviously, if my brother did this on my wedding day, we would not be friends. But for the moment in time, I understand why the families are excited. I don't want to I feel like it's confusing, but obviously they're just exciting. They're gaining so much family in one day. Love is being celebrated. They want their children to be happy on both sides. So I'm that is exciting, and I will give that to the parents, even though I just feel like my mom would probably take my side on this one. Mm-hmm. That it's really odd. The only thing that I would say is that I wouldn't fire the next day, because to me it's just giving yes, of course it stole your shine for sure. No one can take that away from you, and that's a real bummer. But nonetheless, you still got married. You married the love of your life. You're starting a new life. So maybe go on your honeymoon if you are able to, or just enjoy that first day of being newlyweds and kind of just maybe also sit on the feelings. I think a lot of times in most walks of life, and for me in particular, the things that I regret the most in life are the things that I acted on emotion on. So it's whether I just got really frustrated and yelled at X person, ended a friendship, ended a relationship because I was feeling a really strong feeling and I didn't even wait to sit through or sleep on it, as they say. That's why I kind of am okay, you got married, and then you didn't even give yourself 24 hours to literally fire your brother, and maybe even try to have a calm conversation, or not even a calm conversation, a screaming conversation, which you're so validated to do. But nonetheless, making these kind of like big scale decisions on employment and knowing that business and family mixing, not to say that it can't go well, but it is a really tricky topic to navigate. And so I think that this maybe wasn't navigated amazing on their part. However, there's nothing to take away that I'm so sorry that happened at your wedding. Even it's just like that would really be such a downer on the day for me and my significant other. But
no, I know. Okay. I think I'm just kidding.
No, you're so valid. I just was saying like that's just the only,
now that you said that, it's better to be logical than emotional, because you can't take back things that you do at an emotional state. So
and family is forever.
So you can't really cut them off as much as you want to or try to. Not that you should.
I even feel like in the post, you can see that he's calmed down from each post.
Correct.
And it's like, that is exactly my point. Like, you were so livid. And then now every time that you're coming back to the situation, you're just a little bit more calm.
Yeah.
And again, like, I understand their point of being like, he was going to go do his thing anyway. But that was also his choice to make. Or maybe being like, you know what? Personally, I don't feel like we're getting along. Personally, I'm not really, like, we're not going to work together beautifully as well right now. So we're either going to have to navigate some type of different arrangement for this moment in time. And I know you're really thinking of starting your own business. I feel like maybe we should accelerate that idea or find somewhere for you else to work. I don't want to like just cut you off at the knees. But this situation, I'm both in my personal life frustrated with you, and I can't see myself being able in a business setting to hide that.
You're so logical. Yeah. You're such a logical person.
Because my family is everything to me. And even though I literally can imagine, I think about working with my brother all the time, in which my brother and I are very different personalities. And I just think about how my only literal fear is that we would ever have a situation similar to this. But of course, my brother knows that not to mess with my day. That will be my day. But again, like, I would never do that to him. And it's like, you could have also, the brother could have literally probably just been like, do you mind if I propose? This could have been a 5-second conversation between brothers.
That's just kind of mean to me that like you chose the happiest day of your brother's life. And in your speech of all things, you're like, congratulations to my brother and my new sister-in-law, but now it's time for you to shine. Like, that's weird.
No.
And I think people should be more upset at that. Well, no. People should be upset equally at, like, the firing and the proposing. But I think, like, it shouldn't have happened. Like, that should never have happened.
And the best man speech in between brothers as well, in my experience.
That's such a deep moment.
It's most of the time, it's, like, rehashing like their life together, their bond.
Yes.
So I'm like, it was like, so he gave me a job and saved my life. And by the way, now that I have more money, I'm
gonna ruin your wedding.
Like, that's like, okay.
Yeah.
No. But that's just my take.
Respectfully, no.
So respectfully, I'm alright. I personally, I totally have said 1,000 times, obsessed with weddings. However, when it comes to like my engagement and my hopeful like life that I, hopefully someone decides to take me on. I don't care what the engagement looks like.
Yeah, no.
Because it's really just the beginning of like, okay, we're going to be together forever. We want to be together forever. It's like supposed to be a really special moment between you and your person.
Yeah.
So
100%.
We're going to make it really commercial and also cheap. So.
All right. Any final advice for students as they embark on their journey to school?
I think the last kind of like concluding remarks about starting your fall semester, starting this new era of your academic journey, hopefully a good one. It's obviously going to have some bumps in the road, but the best advice that I would give obviously is to ask for help, to utilize all the tools that your college or high school campus has, because they know what they're doing. Join the study groups, kind of, stretch yourself a little bit thin. And actually my favorite thing that I used to do in my college, I don't know if it's available for everyone, is that I used to go into the classrooms like later in the evening after class had ended or on the weekends. Most of the time they don't lock the doors, and using the whiteboards in the computers and logging in and blasting Spotify on the school speakers and having myself like a real study party. And it was really fun. It was actually where I made some of my closest friends, and I really enjoyed that. And that's also what made me pass a lot more classes and get a lot more A's. So
wait, that's so cute.
Yeah, it was my favorite. Those are my favorite memories from college.
If you're ever bored on campus, just go try opening some doors.
of doors. You know, you pay there. It's free. You pay to go there.
You pay to go there. You can use all the rooms.
Doors literally opened doors.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yes.
That's disgusting.
We miscount.
So
No, I did. Opening doors opened more doors.
And also just have fun.
When they, you know, open a door, get a window, whatever.
And we're going on topic.
Yeah. So we're seeing our last story. I'm trying.
Okay, how do we end this?
We end it right
Okay.
here.
Bye, guys.
Bye.